So many men are still talking about modern day women. I'm not even surprised. One interesting YouTuber who I came across by the name of Terry Joel Jr. I'm gonna link and pin his channel in the comment section down below in this video for you guys to take a look at. I respect the guy's words, but a lot of the videos he was watching, I have to agree with. I'm on the side of man because I'm a man. I already know how it's like to be in the dating market today. I'm not too far off from when Tinder was a thing. When I was in the dating market, and when I was at the time when I was dating, it was back in 2012, 2013, before I got married and met my wife. You don't think I gotten ghosted? I've gotten tired of the games. Yeah, I gotten tired of it. I've gotten tired of the games, the ghosting, the manipulation, the mind games women play. But that's just how a lot of women are. But at the exact same time, people will only play games if you allow them to. If a woman knows what she wants, a real woman, not a modern day female out here who's just want to play mind games, who just want to have her own fun, who got a lot going on, or has thousands of messages from different men on a daily basis. I understand social media has damaged and warped the way a lot of women thinks now today. It's men's fault. It's society's fault. I blame society, and I blame the men in society that's contributing to this issue. You're complaining about men being simps, but you're also part of the problem when you're trying to DM a chick just to sleep with her. Some men out here are the reason why there are women out here that has a delusional, inflated ego to where they think that their market value means a lot more than what it is. I'm just going to talk in those words, but in my own terms, some people can't help how the way they look. What about the women who is also on the opposite end as well? Because there's women that are unattractive, who's not very attractive. And I understand there's cases of women that are average that are getting hundreds of thousands of swipes, of matches on dating apps. It's easier for an average woman to get a date. But most of the time, in most cases, they're dealing with men that are just willing to sleep with them. People are not talking about that. People should be talking about that. You think women got all these options in the world for nothing? You think all these men, quote unquote, want to marry them? There's a lot. If that was the case, then why marriage is at a major decline? There are a lot more men waking up, and a lot more men that are the modern men today. They're more ruthless, and they're thinking to themselves, the game is not worth it. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. So now we're in the terms today where it's like man versus woman, and it's more so the men are checking out from being a provider, being a husband, being a protector of women. If she's not going to play her part, why should I? Why should I bust my behind, go for a job that pays a lot of money just for a woman to cheat on me and possibly divorce me? That's how a lot of modern men are thinking, that are in their early teens and 20s, the Gen Zs. I worked around them. one of them even brought this up one time on how he don't even want to get married because the courts is against man. And if the courts is against men or a man, most courts is going to realize, oh crap, we're not making much money. By the exact same time, you know what they're doing? Pushing feminism so more women could go in the workforce, more of them could say, I don't need no man, and now push them further away from the traditional family roles that made society for what it is today. It's all about money. It's all about capitalism. Because the fact that a lot more men are checking out of the professional workforce, now there's a rise in women because of the push of feminism, the Me Too movement, all these movements of empowering women, the slut walk. All of this is pushing more women in the direction to become the man of these roles. Now you see more women in leadership roles, more than ever. There's a rise of them. And they're on the rise because a lot of men are forced or see no reason to go on dating or to get married. So they're checking out of those leadership roles. Women, in the end of the day, real women wants leaders. And to some shape or form, women are also part of a man's motivation because he feels needed. He feels wanted. And if a man does not feel needed or wanted by women in general, right, he's going to have no drive or no need to get himself together. And I'm not talking about all men. I'm talking about many men in many instances that has this mindset. The black pillars, the dudes that feels like there's no hope. And there's just some men that feels like, I don't have to get a career. Wherever I'm at, if my money is enough for me to get by, I'm gonna get a career when I'm ready to get a career without no peer pressure from my parents, no peer pressure from anybody else. But of course, in the end of the day, you're gonna have parents out there that are gonna pressure their sons to get themselves together because they are supposed to be a man. But in terms of dating, relationships, being married, there's a lot of these men that are saying to themselves, it is not worth it. You have the black pillars who are complaining, and you have the guys in the middle who are like, you know what? It's not even worth it. And there's the ones who are on the opposite end, who are the passport bros. They are going to get their careers and themselves together, and their motivation is going to be a part of having a woman, but it's going to be for a wife. Their motivation behind their success is also going to be part of having a wife. And it's not going to be a wife here, it's going to be a wife overseas. And hey, in some cases, there's some guys who meets their wives from a different country in America. Because there's still foreigners coming to America every day. And I'm not just talking about Latinos or Hispanics. There's Asians, there's Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Africans, people from Canada. There's a lot of foreigners all over the world coming to America every single day because a lot of them still believes in that hope for the American dream. And better yet, there's some Americans that are still struggling and they're behind on the times of the American dream, so they end up looking for to put blame on foreigners. To some degrees, I could understand. America, with how this country is, and don't mean to stray off topic, America is willing to help out a foreigner first before helping out their own. At the exact same time, it kind of makes sense. If you think about it, foreigners, when they come here, they don't have much of anything. We're here. We're expected to work and have our stuff together. So, in the political eyes, politicians, the government, society, people who are in power, the education system, right? In their minds, if you did not make it in America and you're American, something's wrong with you. Sometimes some things is out of our control. And sometimes some things is in our control. But for the people who has no control over some of the life circumstances, right? Because of their parents, relatives, they were kicked out, abused in a foster system. Those people I can emphasize with, and I could completely understand. I'm on their side. And just back to the topic of this video. Terry Joel Jr. made a lot of points on masculinity, how masculine men are hated, how society is against masculine men. They want the rise of women to be in the workforces to fill in the gap of the missing men that are in those positions. It is an agenda. It is an agenda, or else they wouldn't be making movies about it. It wouldn't be trending. But on TikTok, on the other hand, the public side, the eyes of the women, the modern women, some of them are being affected by this. Some of them are checking out from the workforce, and genetically speaking, there's a lot of women who does not want to continue to work and bust their behinds all by themselves forever. Some of them wants to be mothers. Some of them wants to be caregivers. They want to take care of something. They want to be a mom. They want to be feminine. They want to be a housewife. Of course, there's many cases, some of them don't know how, and some of them did know how to do it, or they were raised by a feminine mom to teach them how to become and be a housewife to a man, to a husband. Because just going to be real honest with you, there's some women that are very afraid of dating as well, and marriage just as much as men are afraid of marriage, because they don't know if they're going to meet the right guy. They don't know if that right guy is the one for them. They don't know if that guy is husband material. It's not just modern women. There's a lot of men now today that are very weak, but at the exact same time, it's an agenda, because it's starting to also be encouraged within Hollywood. Celebrities are followed, entertainers are followed by the millions, so they're gonna have more influence in the Gen Zers, because the Gen Zers are on their smartphones. They are living more in social media. I'm a millennial. I was at the start in the bracket of when the web, or the World Wide Web, was even a thing. But I still loved the fact about actually meeting a woman in person, face-to-face conversations. Not through text, not through social media. You know why it's so easy for women to go ghost? All the options that they have. It's a delusion. And it's an illusion to them. There's those who abuses that power and those who does not. But majority of them are getting besides themselves. And I completely agree, and I understand that. There's a lot of women out there. The modern woman today, the younger they are, the more heavily influenced that they are going to be behind social media, because that's what they're more so growing up with. Older women, of course, a lot of the times they're going to know what they want. But there are some instances, some people are going to be a product of their own environment. Every older woman of age is not wifey material. So, of course, today, a lot of men are going to question a woman who's single and over the age of 40 years old. They're going to question her, like, where did she go wrong? What happened? Why is she by herself? You don't think I got coworkers at my job? And I've met coworkers, women who look like they were hurt, miserable, they were not happy with their lives. I even had a case where there was an old coworker of mine. I even brought up the fact to everybody that, hey, yeah, I'm married. And she looks so sad. And it's not like she looks sad because I'm married. It's like you can see the sadness from her with the fact that it's not the fact that I'm married. It's the fact that she didn't get picked to be a wife. I don't know her history, but I could just tell when some people are ashamed of their situation and ashamed of their lives, ashamed of what happened to them. I've had guys who are not proud of themselves. They messed up somewhere and they wish like, wow, he's married. I wonder what type of wife he got. There are some people who are just jealous like that. They messed up somewhere in life. But it's a lot more pressure on the woman, because women are supposed to be picked to be a wife, and the men are the ones who are the choosers to find a wife. So if the woman is not picked to be a wife, she is not a wife. Something's wrong somewhere. This coworker of mine, she was about 30 years old. No kids, never married. She was not happy when I told her I was married. Whatever the case is, in most cases from my experience, I know it's a lot more women that were single over a certain age, 30, 35, 40 years old, they're unmarried. There's no sense of fulfillment. Maybe she doesn't have the time. Maybe I don't know what trauma she went through. I don't know. That's not my business. But I could see her whole mood, body language, and everything just shifted and changed. There's a lot of women out here that are being used by players. Pookies and Ray Rays. The Chads and Tyrones. Of course, I understand the 80-20 rule. I completely understand. A lot of people are going to want someone that is attractive or just decent. Well, if all the pressure today, there is a lot of pressure on looking your best. And a lot of women, of course, cares about looks a lot more than men does. Okay? I understand. But this is for women that are very superficial. And of course, with how society is going, they are training and implementing this mindset for a lot of Gen Zer women and the women in the years to come in 2030, 2040, 2050 to have a superficial vanity mindset. I want a man to be 6 foot tall, handsome, this and that. But a lot of those men are extremely rare and hard to come by. You're going to see those men in Hollywood. But why do those men that are in Hollywood, why do they pump and dump? Why don't they marry women like that? Because they know those women are superficial. They don't like them for them. They just like them for what they see, their pockets and everything. They have no personality. They didn't take the time to think, how can I be a wife to this man? What can I offer him? How can I also be of value to his life? Just like the Kayla Nicole and Travis situation. Travis, football player, didn't spend that much money on Kayla Nicole. Kayla Nicole, the fact that her being black has nothing to do with it. It's the fact of how she carried herself. She carried herself like a modern day prostitute, like a modern day woman. I'm the prize. I don't need no man. He gotta worship me. I'm this, I'm that. I got a nice body. I got a nice face. I'm not cooking for no man. What do I look like? I'm not no maid. I just gotta present myself here, show up, look pretty, give him sex, and that's it. Just be there. Just be there. Flex the body. Flex what I got with him. That is not gonna be worthwhile in the long run, because you know why? The older we get, the more your age is going to show. What other qualities is a woman like Kayla Nicole gonna have? Now she is jealous of the situation with Travis and Taylor Swift. Travis is treating Taylor Swift more like a wife than he did with Kayla Nicole. It's like Kayla Nicole was just a flex for him, the fun girl. I don't agree with none of that. I don't agree with the sin and the fornication. I'm a big believer in God. But all I'm saying is that I could completely understand where a lot of men are coming from. Kayla Nicole is being looked up to. Okay? The stepdaughter of Steve Harvey, Lori Harvey, modern day woman, modern day black American woman. She's being looked up to by hundreds of millions of thousands of other women to copy and replicate the exact same behavior. I'm the prize, I'm this, I'm that. But they're still going after the men that are in power. But a lot of the times the men that are in power are real men, so they know what they want. They know that, oh, she's not a wife. I don't want nothing to do with her. Pump and dump. This is just facts. It is all common sense. I'm going to be truthful. I met my wife off of Tinder. Am I proud of it? Yes. God has a way of showing you that he can make many wonders possible. That does not mean I'm telling you, oh, find a wife off of Tinder. I'm not saying that. Going overseas is not the answer either. Because there's women who has husbands overseas and who could be playing in your face saying that they're single. There are women who lie everywhere. Sure, even though overseas, you're more likely to find a wife because of the traditional values, right? But a lot of countries overseas are starting to copy the same behaviors and tactics that a lot of women in America are also doing. They're following those same behaviors that modern day women are walking with, that are characterized as. Okay? The character of the modern woman is also spreading like wildfire all over the world. It's not in every part of the world, but it's in certain parts, and I'm sure of it. Look at Japan. Look at South Korea. I'm pretty sure there's cases in Africa, Switzerland. Money, of course, it's also to be to blame, because now these days, back then, it was on average everywhere you go, a man, income alone, could take care of the wife, the house, the kids, and himself. Now today, you need to have a career where you're making a decent and a certain amount of money. And even then, you're going to need more in order to take care of a full family, a healthy family. The man got to take care of himself, his wife, and depending on the number of kids that he got and the area that he lives in. Yes, this is a global problem. It is a modern societal problem in America. It is going to hurt a lot of people in the long run. It's going to hurt a lot of families and the Gen X's. It's going to hurt them. That, oh, where's my grandkids? When are you going to give me grandbabies? China looks down on women that are over the age of 25, over the age of 30, over the age of 35, and they're childless, single, and unmarried. They're going to look at the woman as she is the problem. Something's wrong with her. Why isn't she picked by a man? Why isn't she married? We could come to an age in the future to where women is going to have to do more of the approaching and the chasing. But they're only going to do it for men that they find attractive or men who are in power. Look at the animal kingdom. The alpha male is going to always dominate. A lot of men today aren't real men anymore. There's women that are going to, some women out there, they are going to play games with the alpha males or the men that they know are real men. And a lot of the times, they're going to run away because they know that they can't play games with a real man because he's not going to take that. He's not going to play games. Either you get with his program or you see your way out of it. He don't got no time to waste. He has options as well. The top 20% of men A lot of them are out there. But at the exact same time, there's a lot of good men too. They are decent, average men, average job. 40, 50, 60K a year. You can work with that. Stay in your bracket. The thing is that, of course, I understand. A lot of modern day women, they overvalue themselves out of the dating market. Where do you think that they deserve a top tier guy, especially if some of those top tier guys use them for sex in bed? So they think they could always reel those type of guys in all the time. But it's only for one thing: sex. Why they're not marrying you? I want my wedding to be all glamorous. I want my wedding to be over $150,000. I want my wedding to be this and this and that. When I got married to my wife, did you know how much money I had to spend on my wedding? $300. You know why? Because my wife did not care as long as we got married. I had a small wedding. Small. It was not a big, glamorous, lighting up wedding. It was not a club wedding. A wedding where I could just post on social media. Then 6 months later, I could possibly end up in a divorce. A real man has to look for a real wife. And a real wife has to look for a real husband. A real man. It goes both ways. A real man and a real woman are going to be a better fit for each other, as long as they do their roles and play their part right. This is a society problem. A lot of people are confused. Social media is to blame. And a lot of the social media companies, they notice and they don't care. They're making money off of our views, our attention, off of the Instagram, off of the Twitter, off of the Snapchat, OnlyFans, pornography. I could go deeper in this topic. Issues with pornography is also playing in a lot of men's minds to be weak. And a lot of the cases to look at women as just nothing but sexual objects. Social media, the lies off of TikTok, the trends, teaching women to be gold diggers and prostitutes at an early age. There are some girls who are already practicing this as early as age 14, 15 years old. It is looked down upon to be a virgin over the age of 18, 19, 20 years old. But it's sacred in the eyes of a husband or in the eyes of a wife. STDs are also playing a role in society. Look up the statistics. Do your research. Think outside the box. Casual Talk here. Peace out. Let me know what you think.